Google Maps seems to have every corner of the Earth charted, but if you look closer, there are entire countries hidden in plain sight. These are the geopolitical ghosts, places with their own laws, militaries, and currencies, yet officially, they don't exist. Today, we're exploring the nations that Google Maps ignores and why their digital disappearance is a matter of global power. First, we travel to Eastern Europe, to a narrow strip of land that feels like a time capsule of the Soviet Union. Transnistria. Since 1990, Transnistria has been independent from Moldova in everything but name. It has its own central bank and even its own ruble. The country is practically owned by a single company, Sheriff Enterprises. They own the supermarkets, the gas stations, and even the football team. But for the people living here, life is a delicate balance. On Google Maps, this land is just another part of Moldova. Recent events in Ukraine have isolated them further. Surprisingly, over 70% of their trade now goes to the EU, not Russia. Moving south to the Horn of Africa, we find one of the most stable democracies you've likely never seen on a standard map, Somaliland. Somaliland broke away from Somalia in 1991. While its neighbor has faced decades of turmoil, Somaliland has built a functioning, peaceful state. Google's maps of the region are a battlefield. The borders shift based on political pressure, often erasing the de facto reality on the ground. Even if you search for Hargeisa, the capital, Google might label it as merely a partially recognized state or a region within Somalia. In a massive shift, Israel recently became the first UN member to formally recognize them, potentially changing their digital fate forever. Further west across the Sahara lies another cartographic mystery, the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, better known as Western Sahara. This isn't just a desert, it's a divided world. Morocco controls most of it, while the Polisario Front governs a small sliver in the east. The SADR is one of the only places in Africa where Spanish is still widely spoken, a remnant of its history as a Spanish colony. On Google Maps, the view depends on where you are. In Morocco, it's shown as part of the kingdom. Elsewhere, it's a disputed territory. Those dashed lines you see on your screen? They represent a frozen conflict that has left hundreds of thousands living in refugee camps. Finally, we come to Bir Tawil, a 2,000 square kilometer trapezoid of desert between Egypt and Sudan that literally no country wants. Because of conflicting colonial-era borders, if Egypt claims Bir Tawil, they lose the resource-rich Halaib Triangle, so they refuse to claim it. This makes Bir Tawil terra nullius, land belonging to no one. It's become a magnet for micronation enthusiasts and internet kings. But the reality is harsher. It's home to unregulated gold mines and nomadic tribes who don't care about digital borders or internet flags. These missing nations prove that maps aren't just about geography. They're about political will and corporate power. Google Maps is a digital arbiter of reality. If it isn't on your phone, does it really exist? For millions of people, the answer is a resounding yes. Next time you're scrolling, remember, the lines on the map are only half the story. See you in the next one. Back in Transnistria, you can spend currency that has no value anywhere else on Earth. It's a sovereign bubble in a digital world. Even their football team, FC Sheriff, made global headlines by beating Real Madrid, a country that doesn't exist competing on the world's biggest stage. But as the world changes, Transnistria's isolation is becoming untenable. Its future might be decided by maps drawn in the West, not the East. In Somaliland, the peace is palpable. They've held multiple democratic elections without the international recognition they arguably deserve. They issue their own passports, though only a few countries accept them. It's a nation built on self-reliance and the hope for a digital border one day. Their strategic location makes them vital for global trade, even if the UN hasn't caught up to the reality of their independence. For the Sahrawi people in refugee camps, the non-existence of their country on maps is a daily reminder of their long-standing exile. The diplomatic battle for Western Sahara continues at the highest levels, with Google Maps caught in the middle of a global tug-of-war. The fact they speak Spanish is a unique cultural bridge, making their story even more distinct in the heart of the African desert. In Bir Tawil, the lack of a government doesn't mean a lack of activity. Gold mining is the unofficial economy of this unclaimed land. While foreigners play at being kings, the local tribes continue a way of life that has existed long before Google or colonial borders. It is perhaps the last place on Earth where you can be truly off the grid, because no government even wants to know you're there. Transnistria, Somaliland, Western Sahara, and Bir Tawil. 4 places that challenge everything we think we know about a country. The next time you look at a map, ask yourself, what else is missing? The world is much bigger than what fits on your screen. Thanks for watching. Explore the unknown.